When it comes to global holidays, none are as popular or as widespread as Halloween. Originally a day to remember the dead, Halloween has now become more of a multi-billion-dollar industry. Ranked 8th in overall consumer spending during the holidays in the US, Halloween has become a self-sustaining industry where companies make billions in just the course of a few days. This year, Halloween spending is expected to hit $9 billion. And all that money goes into those delicious sweets, fancy decorations, but most of it will go towards witches and Batman costumes. With $3.2 billion expected to be spent on costumes this year alone, Rubie's costume company is set to supply over 100 million Americans, both big and small. And let's not forget about the pets. Originally, Rubie started as Rubie's Candy Shop in Queens, New York in 1950, selling novelty items and trinkets, but unintentionally, the items that sold the most were costume masks. And eventually, Ruben and Tilly Beige would focus solely on creating costumes. And in the 1960s, Rubie's would transform into Rubie's Funhouse, wholesaling costumes to rental shops in New York. When Ruben passed in 1972, Tilly would divide the company amongst her children, and this period would mark its final transformation into Rubie's costume company. Now under the control of their children, Rubie's would change the costume industry in the 1980s. You see, during this time, people favored poorly made disposable costumes from their favorite movie or TV shows. But Rubie's took it a step beyond disposable costumes. They created high-quality replicas. And this helped them pick up licenses for popular TV shows and movies like Looney Tunes, Pokemon, Star Trek, Star Wars, The Minions, The Avengers, basically every major franchise. And in the 1990s, Rubie's would acquire their competitor Ben Cooper, which gave them the licenses for DC characters and Barbie. Like all manufacturing in the US, Rubie's moved most of their production overseas to take advantage of the cheaper labor costs. This wouldn't last forever. You see, US customs taxes clothing differently. For example, if you were importing a bulk order of shirts from China into the US, you would have to pay high import taxes. But if you were to import costumes, they would be considered festive articles and not subject to tax. So when Rubie's imports their high-quality premier costumes from China into the US, they would be forced to pay the import taxes due to the high quality of the costume being classified as apparel. Like what happened to their Santa costumes. To work around this, Rubie's US-based factories produce the high-end costumes instead. Unlike most sellers who make it big and sell their products on Walmart and Amazon, Rubie's haven't lost their connection with their smaller partners, who provide them with direct insight into their customers' demands that the big box retailers and corporations often miss. And it's this connection that has helped Rubie's expand globally, with offices in 4 continents, and with more holidays and festivals being added to the global calendar. The costume industry in Rubie's shows no sign of slowing down.